some advice to young women, do you want them to listen to a professor? Do you want them to go on and learn how to be a girl boss? What's going to make them happier? Girl boss or that offensive old PSA? I would argue that's better. You know why? Because
Thanks for making the choice for them. Was there even like a question? He was basically just like, so if I want to control women, I choose that.
No fool. She must know how to set her table attractively. To her husband, she must be a companion, a sweetheart, a wife, and a mother. She must stir his ambition, pull him through failure, and keep success from hurting him.
You know what the problem is that you have with that?
That's so insecure. Fucking. Oh man, that makes me feel bad for men too. Okay, yes, obviously abhorrent patriarchal fucking misogynistic horror shows that was the past, but at the same time, like men just being reinforced into this. We are the conquerors. We, of course, are the providers because we are the better of the two genders and we are the stronger ones. And so we have to do is that you will not have to tolerate a melancholy wife who talks to you about things like her own ambition. If she was to tell you about her own ambitions, it may make you feel insecure. I was like, what the fuck? This is so profoundly sad. I know this. We're still unpacking this shit too. This dynamic is still at play where like you've got that presumption where it's like, oh, well, I mean, I'm not against the fact that my wife has a job. Okay. The economy is really tough. You need both people to be bringing in money in today's economy anyways. But she just can't earn more than me because that would emasculate me as a man. I can't tolerate that.
The word must. This one is a lot of fun. And you've heard me talk about this quite a bit. And now there's sort of been these factions of what people refer to as red pill. And then, of course, you have feminists. And then you sort of have conservative, quasi-feminists. And it's just all so silly. It's all so tiresome. How about we go back to our roots? We dug up some old PSAs. And you may not realize this, of course, they're based, but they also provide some really useful tips. Now, I want you to take off the...
recently, freshly divorced. We don't know the totality of the reasons for it, but amongst them, I'm sure, is the very well-documented, horrifying abuse that Steven Crowder was doing towards his wife, especially his wife when she was pregnant with twins, as was the recording. But also the potential homosexuality or bisexuality, his consistent need to sexually harass his own staff members and expose himself to his own staff members could have been playing a role. The fact that he had ex-employees who were coming forward and saying that, yes, he most definitely was trying something. There's also the people who, you know, used to work with him and were very uncomfortable with the kind of sketches that Steven Crowder would frequently make them do, especially the men. Would be like, I don't understand how, you know, me dressing in leather chaps while you whip me owns the libs. Like, how are we owning the libs?
Of feminism, and understand that what you see here was the norm throughout all of human history up until about 1961. Here is how young men should and always have.
This is appeal to tradition, a logical fallacy. You could apply that to a lot of horrifying things, you know, like slavery. I mean, this was just a thing that human beings were engaged in doing for a very long time. Oh, you mean like dying of preventable disease? Yep, we sure did that. That's why there was big families, sometimes with like 12 kids, because a good percentage, it's like 70% of them would just die. So,
looked for the girl of their dreams.
How do you choose a date? Whose company would you enjoy? Well, one thing you can consider is looks.
I might.
You thought of Janet and how good-looking she was.
You gotta love how that's just like the jump off, eh? How do you choose a life partner? Someone that you're going to be with for a very long time. I mean, some people might suggest that you should know them pretty in-depthly, because you never know if it's someone you actually want to spend hours and hours and hours with and have conversations with. No. Use your penis, my dudes. Yes. You all have a compass. It's in between your legs. Use that to guide you. Surely, you know, just being attracted to someone and nothing else will not have negative consequences for long-term relationships.
Consider that.
He'd really have to reign to date somebody like her. Yes, he'd enjoy that. Well, it's too bad Janice always acts so superior and bored. She'd make a fellow feel awkward and inferior.
Don't pick an uppity
perhaps
bitch.
someone who doesn't feel superior.
What the?
There's Betty. And yet,
Rocker.
it just doesn't seem as if she'd be much fun. What about Anne?
She
knows
is
how to have a good
practicing.
time
Yeah, I'm ruling
and
out,
how to
you know
make
what?
the fellow with her relax, have fun too.
I mean, this would be interesting enough just to watch on its own. There's just like, I just cannot stand the sound of all the dudes in the background. Lol. Yeah, she's definitely doing the blowjob thing because cocksuck.
Let's lose our teeth together.
Yes, that's what a boy likes. He wants to know he's appreciated.
But she lacks a rack.
Anne would be fun on a date.
That's
hope
right.
Lol. Flat. No tits. Also sucks cock. Lol. Oh, man. They say comedy's hard.
Games.
That's why it's very important to slowly chew your food to see if your potential mate sucks a mean.
I don't have any particular special gift or power. It's simply very predictable because, again, it's what we call the lowest hanging fruit. Yes. I was just like, oh, ow, that was something. And someone was like, hey, take that clip. Oh, Lance, was that a cock slapping you in the face? Lol. It's like, okay. Yeah, okay, I get it. There you go.
It's just so. Look, but see, here's the thing: we laugh at it, but it's basically yeah. Look, for the same reason now we're talking about, hey, is it sexist for men to want a woman to be at home? They always have. She makes herself seem superior. What that means is just like the pronoun lady, just quiet. It's not attractive to men. For the same reason that women find it attractive if a man is successful, right? There's the draw, there's the orbit of a.
I would say to insecure men, though, right? First off, I don't know what world you're living in. You must be like a fucking multi-millionaire YouTuber or something, where the idea of just having two people who don't both have jobs is completely fine to you. Like, no. I want the woman to be the wife, to stay at home, to raise the children, to cook and clean, effectively being the bang maid. I want a bang maid. It's like, okay, so how much money are you earning? Do you live in the city? What's the property value at? How much are you going to be able to do? Like, this whole thing is going to make both people so fucking miserable. Do you know how hard it's going to be like the sole breadwinner of the family, so you can have your trad life with the trad wife, and then at the same time hope to like make ends meet?
Successful. Men don't want you to tell them how much more accomplished you are because, first off, you're likely not, and it puts us in an awkward situation where we have to lie and act like we care. Now.
See, all I'm hearing is insecure as fuck. I don't get it. Like, why do you want a fucking blow-up doll? Just go buy a blow-up doll. You'll save so much cash in the long run. You'll probably be way happier. I think you just want to fuck inanimate objects. You don't actually want to be in a relationship with anybody. Get a blow-up doll and a Roomba. And then attach the blow-up doll to the Roomba. Boom. The problem solved.
Oh, we go on to more advice on how to be, and I know you're going to say this is sexist. It's not. How to be a good wife, and here's the funny thing. If you watch this, and if you just remove the modern sort of inclination to be offended, it's basically giving good life advice, and it's telling women to treat being a housewife like, what? Oh, that's right, you say the most important job in the world. Treat it like a job.
She must know how to cook, know food. She must know how to set her table attractively.
She must be a power
Know
forward.
how to make her home.
See, but all of you also know this is kind of fucked up because you're laughing. You're like, just don't be offended, all right? Don't get triggered, all you wokes, all right? Just understand. But you're sitting there and you're both kind of like, this is ridiculous. Like, because there's a reason this is pretty extreme, right? There's a reason being like, all right, look, I'm all for trad wives, women knowing their place, becoming our brood mares, all that kind of stuff. I'm for that, but like, they are putting it on pretty thick here. Come on.
Look at
the size of this thing.
That back.
She must know the worth of labor-saving devices.
It's Fred
and
Gwynn.
how best to conserve her time and energy. She must know clothes, how to buy, and how to make them. She must face death to bring children into the world.
Oh my goodness.
What?
Minor.
Well, yeah. But dudes, I'm sorry, you don't get to have it both ways. You can't be like, hey, I accept the marvels of modern medicine and science, except I hate modern medicine and science in every other aspect. If it comes to the vaccines, no, it's not real. Invalidate that. If it comes to the existence of trans people, what? No. If our understanding of the known universe becomes better, and all of a sudden we start to understand the way the world works, that's a good thing. And then, yes, there was a big problem with women and giving, or during childbirth, simply dying. It's a good thing we've come a very long way. Now, all that really happens in the U.S. is you just go broke if you want to have a kid.
Raise them, care for them, and pilot them safely to the threshold of manhood and womanhood. To her husband, she must be a companion, a sweetheart, a wife, and a mother. She must stir his ambition, pull him through failure, and keep success from hurting him. She must make social contact. She must widen her own horizon and find time for culture.
And what's funny is people watch it like, oh, you know what the problem? You know what the problem is that you have with that? The word must. The word must. Be honest. Comment below. Be honest. Anyone says, oh, why must you?
No, don't do that. Steven doesn't hold up the other end of the bargain, right? We all saw, because we got actual like video footage of what his like personal life was like. He is not being a respectful father who comes home after working hard in the office, aka making other men dress in assless chaps so he can whip them. So after he comes back from a long day of whipping men in the ass, and then he comes home, maybe after exposing himself a couple times to his employees, he then expects the house to be clean. He expects dinner to be made, and he expects everything to be there so he can, love his wife and enjoy his family home. Instead, it's like, it turns out that you're just an asshole. You're an abusive weirdo. I'm assuming being in the closet is not helping anything here and making the whole thing a lot more awkward. And then what? She has to live in a loveless marriage. I'm assuming loveless, sexless marriage where you just abuse her consistently. That's the deal. That's the traditional life.
Don't tell me what to do. Okay, great. Just like the man who leaves the house and child wife always knows her place.
Be a little gay, nice, and a little more interesting for him. His boring day need a lift, and one of your duties is to provide it. Don't greet him with complaints and problems. A good wife always knows her place. Yeah, this is fucked. Not the be gay part. That part's awesome. But yeah, they mean gay as in lighthearted, fancy-free, enjoying, exuberant, happiness. But here it's, always know your place.
Greet him and with complaints. And he's like, what? I got to deal with crap. I'm just going to leave you for the winter. Good luck.
That's also common sense. Like when my wife comes home from having the kids out or something like that, I don't immediately bombard her with anything that I've got going on. I'm like, hey, how you doing? How are the
You're
kids?
afraid of her.
Good. No, I'm not. It's just
You want a fresh one?
You're leaving one.
Wow. Can't even have a wholesome moment with the boys. Uh-oh. Oh, he's going into gay territory. He's being a little vulnerable. He's starting to express emotion. Look at that. Now he has to be on the defense because all they know is attacking each other. What? Huh? Was she mail order? Huh? Lol. Do you want a new one? Huh? What? Are you becoming gay? Lol.
Environment and going to another one. When a guy is coming home from work, he's trying to get his mind off of work mode. Okay, get into family mode.
Yeah, guess what? Women also don't want to come home from work and then have to start their second job. Get that, right? First off, it's so out of touch to think you live in a world in which men and women both don't have to have jobs in order to afford life. Because, yeah, life is fucking expensive now. So, yeah, you and your partner both work jobs. When you both come home, I'm sure both of you would like the house to already be clean and to be able to relax. But it just turns out that only one person is expected to do that. Only just the women. Yes. Hey, honey, come on. I'm a modern feminist. I don't care about you having a job. But when I get home, chop, chop. I mean, like literally chop, start chopping food and making it for me because come on, I'm hungry.
A little bit, that transition takes some time. You don't walk in, bing, get hit with stuff. It just doesn't work.
Well, I didn't have kids.
Let's say you have a choice, women, okay? Or if you have a choice to provide some advice to young women, do you want them to listen to a professor? Do you want them to go on and learn how to be a girl boss? What's going to make them happier? Girl boss or that offensive old PSA? I would argue that's better. You know why? Because not a
Thanks for making the choice for them. Was there even like a question? He was basically just like, so if I want to control women, I choose that. That's my choice. Yeah, stay in the kitchen, so we can go to the bathhouse and enjoy ourselves.
Single guy ever, I'm just letting you know, not a single guy has ever had a conversation saying like, well, you know what, I think she's due for a promotion, so that really gets me go. No one cares. They would prefer.
What are you talking about? It's fucking awesome when your partner gets promoted. Not only is it awesome that they accomplish something and you're happy for them because you have basic human empathy and you also happen to like and love them and you want them to succeed as well, it's also awesome because you get more money as a couple. I can tell you this firsthand. It's badass. When my partner gets promoted, I'm very stoked. Like, hell fucking yeah. That's awesome. Like, on what tier is that a bad thing?
Nice and to be a team, a partnership. And of course, this extends to, who could ever forget, dinner time etiquette.
These boys greet their dad as though they are genuinely glad to see him, as though they had really missed being away from him during the day and are anxious to talk to him. This is the time for pleasant discussion in a thoroughly relaxed mood. They don't pick this time of the day to spring unpleasant surprises on Dad. If they have disagreeable news, they'll postpone the discussion until another time. And this is no time to dun Father for a raise in your allowance, new clothes, or argue about other financial matters.
What?
Napkins on the lap.
He wants to come out to Dad.
Watch this.
They converse pleasantly while Dad serves.
Here
I
it
said
comes.
pleasantly, for that is the keynote at dinner time. It is not only good manners, but good sense.
All good advice. All good advice.
Pleasant, unemotional conversation helps digestion.
We know that.
Don't monopolize the conversation and go on.
Sorry, wait. Pleasant and emotional conversation helps digestion? Oh. 50s, man. What a time to be alive. But then, yes, of course, it's like, hey, by the way, don't be emotional. Hey, women, come on. Men have had a really hard day making the bread, aka the cashola, for you to be able to afford the food that you have to cook for them. And so make sure that you know your place. The kids are all like, is it any wonder that there were really high rates of like alcoholism and women basically trying to get prescription amphetamines from their doctors to cure their melancholy? It's like, oh, I'm perpetually depressed. Why is that? Do you have a bout of the melancholy, perhaps? It's like, well, yeah, I don't know. I just feel unfulfilled in my life. All I do is 24/7 cook and clean for a husband that beats me while he goes off and fucks men because he doesn't love women. And at the same time, this whole situation has me constantly exhausted. I am having to not only raise the children myself, but also I have to get them set into this mode that is very counter the way kids' brains work. As in, like, when my husband gets home, they have to be completely 100% engaged and still and attentive and can only make interesting comments, and they cannot in any way be inquisitive as children are. Yeah, it's making me quite sad.
On and on with
Oh my God.
destroys the charm of a meal more quickly.
Shut up, Judy.
To say that the rest of the group is bored would be a gross understatement.
That's why I don't like ladies.
Again, y'all are laughing though because you also on some level realize how insane this is. As much as you're like, these were the good old times when men were men and women were women. No, I long for this. You're also just really? That was both how you were supposed to act and the way it was advertised?
The impact. Do you have any idea how
Nick
painful
knew it right
a
away.
grapefruit in the eye?
Might as well have been Mo Howard.
He squeezed it on the way in.
Mo Howard makes the same face.
He fresh.
It's kind of funny that, like, from the early days of Steven Crowder till now, he's just surrounded himself with, like, old, failed comedians who are just yes men. Like, that's all that's left. The original cast and crew and people he used to work with, the ones that, like, you know, obviously he's attempted to sexually harass or exposed himself to, or the ones he's tried to molest and stuff like that. The only person who stayed is this dude. He's the only one from the old days. And, like, it's really sad when you see so many of Steven Crowder's, like, employees throughout the years just be like, That's a fucked up environment. He's very abusive. He's very exploitative. He exposes himself constantly. He's obsessed with, making us perform in very sexualized sketches with other men. Oftentimes where he'll just have room filled with men, and we have to like put makeup on each other and stuff like that, or whip each other. So that's bizarre. This is the only person who's stuck around.
Someone might get out of line. You might have a bad apple. Now you had access, millions of people, to the bad apple, which was the media, which leaned far left, telling people to break down and erode.
You are the media. You are the bad apple, my friend. This is your job.
Their institutions, their cultural norms, their social mores. And so that's the first time you had an entire generation of people going, yeah, maybe we shouldn't do these. And guess what? Today, people are more miserable than ever. Fewer people are getting married than ever. It's not working. So, as offensive as that may seem, I support it. And I, by the way, have always been, as you know, Gerald, very consistent on the issue.
Oh, sorry. I thought he said closeted. Yeah, that's not a surprise to me. It's exactly what I'd expect. You're watching old 1950s promotional videos, and Steven Crowder aligning with all of them. I mean, that's why he wanted to get rid of no-fault divorce, and it's one of the reasons why he's been, I'm sure, an absolute pleasure to be around ever since he separated from his wife, because now he just gets to kick it with the boys.
Don't let this happen to you. Go to serfscoffee.com to order the only end-to-end owned indigenous coffee company that delivers blood-free, conflict-free, and cruelty-free beans right to your door. 0% of people who drink serfscoffee.com have exploded spontaneously. By ordering right now, you get 10% off plus free shipping, and it's the best way to enjoy delicious coffee while not exploding. That's serfscoffee.com, serfscoffee.com.
Thank you so much for watching, everyone. This video wouldn't be at all possible without the financial support of all the people whose names you see on the screen right now. And if you want to unlock secret bonus episodes, content that we can't post anywhere else, or get the videos early before anyone else gets to see them, please go on to patreon.com/theserfs. For as little as $1, you can help support this channel and help make more videos like this possible. Our executive producers are Anna Loves Riley, Adrian McCarthy, Bobby Lasers, Cheryl Alvarez, Comrade Junkie, Doug Caddy, Everything Important, Garrett Sandoval, Hagbard Celine, Jimmy Sombrero, Multimondi, Omni, Political Papi, Preston Kroll, Quiet 185, Richard Boehm, Riley and Anna, Roller Dragon, Cernicus, Stellar Gwyn, Sebastian Demel, Tigwick, Trav, and Words Greenwood. And also, it wouldn't be possible without all the names you see on the screen right now. Again, if you want to help produce this content, it's only made possible through the funding of our patrons. Head on down to patreon.com/theserfs. That's patreon.com/theserfs.